Oh my God, that's terrible. If I ever hear you say that again, I might hurt you, Seth, for real. Chuckling, I nodded at the dummy. Tap into the wind, Josie. Feel it coursing through you. You got this. Josie's nose wrinkled, and then she focused on the dummy. Her hands closed into fists again, her shoulders rose, and I felt it then, the small ripple of power. It flowed in the distance between us, washing over my skin, the kiss of power, of ether, being tapped into and used, felt like stepping out into the summer sun. Locking my jaw, I shifted my stance as I drew in a deep, steady breath and focused on Josie, only her, until the enticing wave of power dissipated. Lightning cracked overhead, fat, dark clouds began to form. I lifted my chin, sighing as a raindrop smacked off the bridge of my nose. "Shoot," she muttered, shoulders drooping. I pursed my lips as I watched the gray clouds break apart. "We're lucky," I announced dryly. "You're not going to drench us this time." "Shut up." My lips quirked up. "Try again." Josie did just that. Lightning cracked again. She set the chair I'd dragged out on fire. The dummy started to smoke at some point, but then the quick shower she summoned put the fire out. The fedora was a loss. Finally, near lunchtime, Josie got it. She summoned the element of air, lifting the dummy up and holding it there for several moments. Each time she tapped into the ether, I felt the kiss of power and used every ounce of control that I had to ignore it. Being around pures had helped me build up some tolerance to the minor displays of power, and I'd experienced harder shit. For example, the erection this morning was one of them. Denying the level Josie wanted to take our relationship to was the exact opposite of easy, even when I wanted to, well, do right by her. Strange concept and all, but behaving myself was hard, so I got this covered. But it was when we worked with Akasha that I almost couldn't ignore the allure. There was nothing more powerful than that, and when it hit the air it was like touching lightning. It called to me, sang to what existed deep inside me, this thing that needed ether as badly as a demon did. How fucked up was that? Knowing that I shared something in common with the demons was one of the things that kept me in check, kept this thing inside me locked away. Josie was the other. Once the dummy was back on the ground, I made her use the element of air 3 more times just to make sure it wasn't a fluke. With her, you never knew. Josie turned to me, pushing a shorter strand of blonde hair out of her face. A tentative smile appeared as she bounced over to where I stood. "I think I finally got the hang of the air element." Truthfully, I couldn't say if she finally did have control over it or not, and we wouldn't know until she could do it several days in a row. Josie stared up at me, eyes bright and hopeful. I didn't want to piss on her parade. "Yeah," I said, leaning down and pressing my lips to her forehead. "You did really good, Josie." Stretching up, she looped her arms around my neck and gave me a quick, tight hug before settling back on her feet. I stood there, stared at her for a few moments, like a creep. Sometimes I didn't know what to do with her. I could be touchy. Gods knew I had boundary issues. I had no problem being affectionate, but I was not, under any circumstance, used to someone being affectionate with me. Not like this. When it was actually genuine, not forced for one reason or another, and went deeper than a physical thing. Josie was free with affection, the smiles and the touches, the soft kisses, and the closeness. She blew me away with all of that. Sometimes I also wondered what I was doing with her, getting involved in a real relationship, because it wasn't exactly